They thought it was tap. They thought it was Canadian. It's not, it's flat-footing. What I really do is kind of a highly developed style of buck dancing. You could say jig dancing. And I learned by watching people. The first time I ever saw it was in eastern Kentucky, and that's when I learned to flat foot. And that's what people learned yesterday in the workshop. They learned the two-sounded walking step. They learned the Indian, which comes straight out of Cherokee ceremonial dance. And they learned the chug, which is thought to be a slave step from West African movement. We do all kinds of things with these steps. So over the years, since about 1992, when I first saw this kind of dancing in eastern Kentucky, I've just collected steps from people I've met. A guy named Charlie Burton, for example, in western Pennsylvania. First time I ever saw somebody clogging on a board at a festival on the grass. And he taught me to gallop. Years later, I met Caleb Cobb here in Mountain View, and he said, add a step in there and you get this. That's kind of cool. It was a little more Irish. Around here, they call it jig dancing, and let me tell you, my heart rate is about 300 after I jig dance with these folks up here. Very vigorous. And it was one year, probably about 10 or 15 years ago, it was the first time I ever saw the wheel. And it was somebody dancing on this stage. He was about 11 feet tall. And he weighed 30 pounds. That was the first time I ever saw the wheel. Fred Astaire said, do everything on both sides of the body. I could do both at once, but I just don't really feel like it right now. So one of the things that amazes me about this kind of dance, this is American step dance, and I'm so proud of it. I mean, it's English, Irish, Scottish, Huguenot, as in French, German, other continental European people, African and Native American. I mean, how neat is that? So there's some people in this room I've learned steps from. Joni and Mem are here, and I learned the scissors. I also learned the silent scissors from them. If you want to do some sneaky cutting, you do it that way. Over the years, I learned also about spaces in music and dance. It's nice to have a little room sometimes, or a saucy step from an Irish dancer. Applejack from a friend in North Carolina. And in general, the Tennessee walking step. This is the two-sounded walking step, and this is the three-sounded walking step. And the four-sounded walking step is this. And that's the time step around which the whole dance form that I do revolves. You can do all kinds of neat stuff with this. You can tell stories with your feet. Sometimes the old timers would call this talking feet. Take out the right toe, for example. Left heel. Take out the right heel, too. Do Lone Ranger. You get the idea. You can also substitute. I'm going to substitute some of my heels and toes on the right with a shuffle. People are surprised to know in a state that's about 28 by 48 miles that we live real rural, and we do. A couple hundred acres of woods all around us, and our house and farm barn, 240 years old. It's a very special place. And for about 3 years of some of my intensive learning, I practiced in our old barn, cold winters, unheated, on a very quiet road. And remember, nobody knows what this really is in Rhode Island. So one time I was in the barn, I was seeing how fast I could go, and I was in my own little world. The winters are very long in New England. Doing this, I stop. And outside on the road, I hear this. You're getting better! And this guy, who does a 10-mile loop on his bike every day, had been monitoring my progress for months. This other really cute couple moved in across from us. I mean, our neighbor is like across the field through the woods, the log cabin. And we didn't meet them until the spring. After the winter, they moved in, and we ran into them on the road with their baby, and they said, you know, we thought you were building an addition. But no building ever went up. These are all true stories. And then one time I'm leaving the barn. I've had a very fine workout. It's February, and it's probably about 4 degrees out, and I'm warm. And this guy's jogging by, and he's all bundled up. And he says hi, and I say hi, and I think, wow, I don't even know him. And so, you know, that was that. Then he paused, and he said, were you exercising horses in there? That's my abbreviated talking, blogging routine for you.